So I'm filming right now. What'd you just say to me?
Grandma's here behind you.
Hey, mommy. Did she follow us?
No.
You gotta be kidding
Her
me.
head is scared.
What happened? Hey Lemoners, it's Low86 here with another video. And yeah, today, we're at the beautiful Westlake Park. I haven't been here in ages. Haven't taken the kid here either. So we're happy to be here with her, and the weather is just flawless. It's fantastic today. Anyway, I'm going to talk about, beautiful parks obviously remind me of regretting buying property in China. But not as much as I regret letting my wife dress me today. So I am here dressed like a Korean flower boy, on the cover of a 2005 K-pop album cover. But ignore that and kind of follow my lead, as today I talk about why I regret buying property here in mainland China. So actually I don't know any of my friends that were able to buy property at age 26 when I did. And it was a lot of money for me. I actually, put down most of the, I put down all of the down payment, which was actually 200,000 RMB for the two properties I ended up buying. So why did I actually buy the property? Well, I had worked really, really hard, and I obviously wanted to get married to my wife. And as most people know in Chinese culture, the man actually has to buy a house. Now, my severe disadvantage actually was the fact that I didn't have my parents to help me. Most Chinese men, they have their parents help them buy a house, whereas I had to buy it myself, right? So in order to qualify to get married to my wife, Vivian, actually I had to buy a house. And yeah, I pretty much took all the money that I had saved over the years of working in China in order to buy these properties. Now, I couldn't afford a really nice property, in an area where Vivi's mom lives, and that's kind of somewhere where I ideally want to live. A nice garden, good parking spaces, a good area to raise a kid in the future. Yeah, exactly. She's kind of angry where I moved as well. But I decided to buy a new property in the middle of the city in an area that I was really, really familiar with, right? So at that point in my life, I decided if I'm gonna buy an affordable property, it better be a new one, right? In my mind, I thought, well, Chinese quality buildings are pretty bad, so if I buy a new one, I'll be better off. Now, so basically after I bought the property, I had spent all my money as kind of a dowry to, kind of win my wife's family over. And despite it being new, I noticed very quickly that there were cracks developing. Is this fun? There were cracks developing all across the walls. All the tiles were uneven. Stuff was already rusting and falling apart. Faucets were broken. It was abysmal, just the quality that we had paid for. And although I had only paid 5,000 RMB for 1 square meter of the house, it actually ended up being 100,000 RMB just to get the whole thing renovated and kind of have medium quality tiles and all the kind of furnishings put in to actually make it a livable space as opposed to just a concrete box. And in the end, it ended up being quite expensive, right? Now, we were told that this area would kind of appreciate in value, and it did. Like, it went up to, I think, 7,000 RMB per square meter now, but I still haven't made up the cost that I put into actually renovating the house. So, in the end, I ended up with a house that's kind of ramshackle and falling apart, and it's gonna be a difficult sell because people want it to be in good shape or else they wanna renovate it for themselves. And every buyer that keeps coming in to ask us about the house, they say, hey, are you gonna take care of renovations? Because they don't wanna pay for them because the building is in such poor quality. Now it only gets worse, and unfortunately, here's the really, really, really bad news. Our elevator actually collapsed, so thankfully it was only on the second floor, but the elevator basically went up to the second floor with the whole family inside, and the cable snapped, causing the entire family to drop down. And no one was injured, but they're quite shaken up, and I believe one of the kids ended up having whiplash. Just a second. We're in a very stroller-unfriendly place as usual. And obviously, that's not a fate that I would wish on anyone, especially my kid. So after that was taken care of and people complained to the building management, they kind of sorted things out, but then other things happened. So keep in mind, 2 years after this building's been built and finished, Now all the tiles are falling off, and I'm talking about tiles that are over 2 kilograms each. So they're falling off left and right in the hallways, and people are getting hit with them, right? There's actually a girl that ended up getting a concussion because she was hit with one of the building tiles as she was walking through the hallway. So then they had to spend months and months renovating that, where they would drill from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. basically, and drilling new holes for all these new tiles that should have been properly put in the first place. So we've had noise pollution and just a horrible living experience thus far as well. So yes, there is a property bubble in China. Yes, the housing prices are going through the roof. People are making massive amounts of money. But if you're an average Joe like me that just makes an average salary, buying property in China at my age, although I had to do it to get married, wasn't the best decision on my part, because now I'm stuck with a horrific house that's in really, really bad shape, and it's not a comfortable living environment. So that's my 2 cents in the whole thing thus far. So a lot of my subscribers have asked me, they said, C-Milk, do you think it's a wise investment to buy property here in China? It seems like it's on the up and up. Plus I need to get married anyway, so I need to buy a house. I'm going to say no. In the end, you really get a tofu building, and that's what they call them. A lot of these buildings are just made with materials that will collapse in a few years. Unfortunately, there's this whole law that says that you can't own property or land for more than 70 years, and a lot of people are scared off by that. Honestly, that's not the biggest issue of buying a house in China, because that house won't exist in 70 years. The building quality is just so poor, and with the constant maintenance and noise, it's just better off to spend a little more money and rent a better or nicer environment than to spend the money that you have on a kind of lower quality area. So that's just my 2 cents in the whole thing. And basically, don't let me put you off from buying a house in China, but just take a little word of warning before you do so. I got a lot of warnings from my Chinese friends to not talk. They said pretty much I could talk about any topic other than the housing crisis at this moment, because apparently it's a very, very sensitive issue. So I tried to avoid that, but still cover it at the same time with a piece of advice for you if you're deciding to come to China. Anyway, thank you so much, Lot Winners, and I will catch you on the next one. Super big thanks from me and Olivia to all the patrons out there. You guys have really been helping us out. Thank you so much for your support. And don't forget that patrons get 1 week early access to ADV China videos, right? Why are you trying to ruin my life right now? We're trying to say thank you to the people that are helping us so much. Yeah? So say thanks. Thank you. There you go. That's much better. Oh my gosh!
We get a lot of requests to talk about ghost cities. I know it's kind of a popular topic overseas, Chinese ghost cities.
Actually, do know of a ghost town near our motorcycle shop, actually.
Okay.
Where they, about 3 years ago, started building a ton of private villas for people, right? Little golf course and everything over there. And I haven't seen anyone move in there yet.
Okay, that sounds like something we should go check out. So how about we go check it out? We can talk about the whole ghost city thing along the way.
Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, well, the issue is that we've got this situation now where the entire economy in China is based off real estate.
This is an example of a ghost town. This is a more populated ghost town. There's a lot of people that are here just to see this.
But if you look, the apartments that are actually, they have clothes hanging in the windows or curtains, there's like 3 in that entire building.
It's very sparse. You see empty. And the funny thing is you say, yeah, it's a new development. No, this is over 3 years old now.
Look at this situation. You've got, this is a new one being built, then you've got all those ones that have been around for 3 years. Right behind them, you've got all these other ones busy being built.
And blow your mind, the entire cityscape is a ghost town.
Yeah, all the way back there.
Nobody lives here. If you're homeless and can afford a plane ticket, come here. You can live in one of these empty boxes. You probably won't get caught.